My generation knew how to make decisions, important ones. Your generation can't even decide which bathroom to use.
Really? Speaking of making important decisions, you want to walk us through your decision-making process for this? Because it appears like you were just touching yourself to a Post Malone music video one day, then on a whim you just stole your mom's credit card and pedal biked over to the tattoo shop and told them you just wanted to permanently look like the 0.001% of germs Lysol didn't kill. And hey, express yourself however you want. But when you made the decision to permanently identify as a 14-year-old who passed out first at a house party, judging other people for their identity decisions is probably a lane you want to stay out of.
My generation fights for the right to party.
You're out here trying to go hard and then you just half-ass the Beastie Boys?
Your generation stares at your phone all day and dances on the internet in your sister's underwear.
Jesus fuck. You are a 34-year-old white conservative millennial rapper from Canada. You're basically a less talented and successful Justin Bieber. White conservative Canadian rapper could be the punchline to any joke. Knock knock. Who's there? White conservative Canadian rapper. See, pretty fucking funny. So you may want to slow your roll on making fun of what other people do on the internet. And that's still not as funny as the fact that you were born in 1988. You could not be any more in the middle of the millennial generation. Fight for Your Right to Party came out 2 years before your dad learned how weak his pullout game was. I mean, like, obviously cultural appropriation is your thing, and that extends to you trying to identify as Gen X. But if that's what you're going with, making fun of how other people identify isn't the best look.
My generation judges people on whether or not they're an asshole. Your generation cancels everything you don't agree with. My generation doesn't give a about the things we don't agree with.
Did you just censor your own swear words in your own video where you were bitching about how other generations censor everything? I mean, I guess that checks out. You did make a 2-minute long video bitching, whining, complaining, and judging everybody you disagree with from this mythical generation you just made up, and then ended it by saying you don't give a fuck about the things you don't agree with. Which actually brings me to my next question. Since I don't have any tattoos and those don't look like they were all done in the most sanitary conditions, have you ever read up about what kind of things you can potentially catch from a tattoo needle? Or a trap house? I only ask because I'm not a doctor, but I am a big history buff, and I know that Al Capone died from something that, when left untreated, could easily lead to this level of cognitive dissonance. Nothing to be alarmed about, though. You know, it was very treatable even back then. So all I'm saying is, like, if you get some free time in between making angsty white rap videos about how bad socialism is, maybe just swing by and get a checkup with, you know, some of that free Canadian healthcare. Just to be safe, you know, nothing to be embarrassed about. I mean, there's a lot for you to be embarrassed about, but not going to the doctor. Self-care is important. Use that socialized medicine with pride for all of us who don't have such great access. And maybe we will all get lucky in the process and it'll make you less, you know.